warm welcome to each one of you to what is undeniably one of the most historic moments for us, the 10th edition of Evolve here in the dynamic city of Visakhapatnam. I am Tina Thomas, your host for the evening, and it's my absolute pleasure to be hosting the 10th edition of Evolve, which has continued to grow and evolve since its inception in 2014. Evolve began as a multi-city knowledge series aimed at equipping our MSME partners with the right knowledge and banking solutions critically for upscaling their businesses. We are grateful for the trust and the support of all our MSME clients, having reached over 10,000 plus customers across 50 plus cities over the last few years. Vizag has been a thriving industrial hub and offers immense opportunities for entrepreneurs. Tonight, we celebrate the resilience and creativity of local businesses that have thrived in this dynamic environment. At Axis, we believe strength lies in adaptability, and we are here to equip you with the insights needed to navigate the future. The MSME segment over the last decade has been seeing tremendous growth and has cemented its position as a strong contributor towards India's trillion-dollar economy. And this also sets the context for our today's session on MSME powering the $10 trillion economy. Our journey over the last few years has been an interesting one and has helped shape our thoughts and blueprint for the MSME segment. As we continue to reach out to MSME across various cities, we are also proud of the legacy we have been trying to create along with our partners. As we mark this decade-long milestone, we would like to highlight some key moments from our journey from the past 10 years. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back for a power-packed evening. I would like to now call upon Mr. Vijay Shetty, President and Head Commercial Banking Group, Axis Bank, to share his views on MSME powering the $10 trillion economy. Vijay is a seasoned banking professional with 27 plus years of experience. He has been with Axis Bank since April 2016 as Head of Commercial Banking Group. Please welcome Vijay onto the stage with a huge round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to our 10th edition of Evolve. Vizag is called City of Destiny. I was there in a couple of days in Vizag. When I met the customer, I thought it is a destiny for MSMEs today. Evolve we started in 2014. The reason for starting Evolve is that point of a time India is completely evolving in terms of Atmanirbhar Bharat or a Viksit Bharat or targeting for 5 trillion economy. That point of time as a bank, we wanted to understand the MSME's requirement. That's one of the reasons we wanted to go to all the cities, understand the business models, understand the customer requirement so they can curate the product for the MSMEs. That's one of the reasons we started that. Actually, it has helped us. I think today also I could see that the gathering here, and also I'm sure today's event will be useful to all of you, maybe partnering each other and growing each other. If you look at it, today each customer, when I mentioned about a smaller customer segment where their balance sheet is not strong because it's not everything is recorded there. We have a product where we can, based on the GST, based on the banking behavior, we can underwrite the customer. What happens, this will help all the customer in terms of their credit requirement grow potentially. And we also have a subsidiary company called A-Trades. This company is basically, you can discount your invest. It's a marketplace. You can register, and government has directed now all the MSMEs are about 250 crores company mandatorily register there, and their vendor can discount their invoice. My suggestion, this will help your help you to work your working capital management better, because your cash flow will get improved because of that. And also there are multiple products, like as MSME you need an export solution, you need an accounting process, you need a salary upload or a bulk upload, or an invoice has to be given to directly to the customer digitally. The multiple product is there. Today in our the team is here, we have an asset management team is here, our salary team is there, corporate salary team, and I'm sure in the evening you please interact with them. They can help you in terms of making a solution to, giving a solution to you. I just talked about in terms of how we are lending. The biggest challenge for any customer, whether it is a bank or any MSME customer, it is an end solution. What solution is required, how it is serviced. Today as an individual, personally I don't go to a bank and do a transaction, everything happens digitally. We don't carry a cash also today. I think in the corporate world, in the MSME sector also, down the line it will get implemented there, and most of the MSMEs already started adopting it. We have a product called Neo for Axis, and Neo for banking and business, as well as Neo for corporate, where Neo for banking for a sole prop, Neo for corporate, all the other set of companies, where you can integrate your company's SAP, or we can integrate through API, or you can, if any accounting software you are having it, like if you have a Tally, you can integrate directly, we can send the invoice directly to the customer, all the transaction digitally you can do it. And there are multiple things which will help, like one accountant is doing for your transaction, you have to go to and branch and do that, which can be done at sitting in office. And it's very, very useful. We have put up a stall outside. Please go through that if you want to understand more detail about that, how to operate, what is the benefit of that, allow to hear that. See, we have a product called Burgundy Private, where this is one of the best product in the industry, and I'm sure most of them you are maybe enjoying that facility. It's a wealth management product where you have a complete ecosystem, where in the banking can be supported with the qualified RM who knows investment, he knows the product, end-to-end solution can be given. My request is to please experience that Burgundy Private. I'm sure that will help you to create your wealth and move forward. Thank you very much. This evening, I'm sure it will be very useful. We have a wonderful panelist, and also my colleague Brijesh will talk about the treasury and forex business in India, as well what's happening in the outside India, and it may be helpful to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vijay, for your valuable insights. Moving on, we all know how critical it is for businesses not to only know about the immediate factors that can affect their businesses currently, but also to understand how the market outlook can impact their growth. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Brijesh Chalil, EVP and Head Treasury Market Sales, Axis Bank, to share his views on the current market outlook. Please welcome Mr. Brijesh onto the stage with a huge round of applause.
Thank you, Tina. Good evening, welcome, and first of all, it's great. It's my first time in Visakhapatnam. I think Vijay said it's a city of destiny. I felt it's a coastal gemstone. I was walking your beaches. I'm from Bombay, so we see the Arabian Sea on that side. I think it's only when you see the ocean on this side that you realize it's a lot more powerful. But beautiful beach. So, you know, I was reading up a little on Visakhapatnam as well, and it's lovely to see a city that's so beautiful and yet so industrious. Whether it's, you know, the shrimp industry, whether it's pharma. It's also, I believe, a city that serves the nation with the Navy. So, kudos. So what I will attempt to do, you know, over the next 15-20 minutes is try to give you a little perspective on what's happening globally. Maybe that will help you with your businesses. You understand your business better than us. So today, like me, I'm a product partner. I am on the treasury side. We also have with us, you know, Vijay spoke about Burgundy. So once the session is over, please meet the team. Most of you, you know, I'm sure with the industries that you're running, your net worth is pretty sizable. So do experience the Burgundy team, they're here. For your staff, we have the salary accounts as well. It's a very powerful proposition from Axis. We also have the mutual fund team, and my team, the treasury team, is also here. A lot of you are exporters. So officially welcome to the 10th edition of Evolve. MSME is our focus. I'll try to break this up into 3 parts. Sounds very boring to start talking about industrial policy, but the minute I put the word tariff, I think we'll all wake up. So tariff is the new mega trend, or industrial policy is the new mega trend. It's here to stay. So we'll cover that. I'll cover some points on Viksit Bharat, how to get to 10 trillion, what the government's doing, some of it which you may know, and a little on global policy, macroeconomics, what's happening and how it impacts your business. So tariff is one part of industrial policy. Industrial policy, a lot of things. Some things are like PLI, whether it is SEZs, free land, the government planning things for your sector. But I think this is, like I said, it's a mega trend. It's here to stay. And in some sense, it's going to be the cornerstone of a lot of things. So this first slide just shows you, and this is only 2022 numbers, it just shows you the number of industrial policies that have suddenly erupted. So it has moved from 34 to almost 1600, and this is, like I said, slightly dated data. We have to collate industrial policies across the world. It's not easy. Also, if you see, industrial policy used to be 8% of government policies. Today, 1/3 of all government policies is effectively industrial policy. If you look at and kind of what has triggered all of this, it's the elephant in the room, it's China. This graph on the bottom left, you can see how into just 2005, not very long ago, most of us were working then, you can see China effectively just contributed to 10% of global manufacturing. US and Europe were, in the 20s and 25%. And you can see how that reversal has happened. And this is hurting the US because it's not just manufacturing moving. Right? Like we are now waking up to Make in India, Viksit India, but China did this a while ago. And this is jobs moving from west to east, money moving, per capita GDP moving. So, and this is hurting the West now. If you even look at this, this shows that in 1990s, the 72% of the world had US as their main trading partner. And China was, at 28%. It's completely flipped now. So, obviously China is aware of this, and the last few years there's been so much focus. It's, everyone against China. So that graph became very popular. China's share of US imports. It actually looks like it has completely fallen, right? So 2018 was the peak. But if you actually overlay this with China's exports have actually grown. They've reached $1 trillion. So what China is very smartly doing is rerouting. A lot of stuff is going Vietnam through other countries. So it's not solved the problem. It's just masked the problem. So hence today, it's very easy to criticize sometimes what the US is doing, but you have to understand where they're coming from. And that's the kind of backdrop I was trying to create. So we've all been reading the news. In treasury markets, we have Reuters, Bloomberg terminals, we are trying to track markets, but I realize I don't need anything now. All I need is Twitter. Whatever Mr. Donald Trump puts up, we kind of try to catch up. So the latest is on 2nd April, that Liberation Day, he announced 25%, 30% policies on the world. The maturity, it was supposed to mature on 9th July. One day before that, on 8th July, they have issued letters to a lot of countries. So Indonesia got away with 19%. Indian tariffs, by the way, were due in this week, but I believe it's postponed a bit now. So dollar rupees also got a bit weak today. But net, that's what the policies are looking like. We are seeing that with the countries out of the box, he doesn't care. He will probably levy them with 20%. The ones in the box, he's negotiating deals. And the big ones, which is Mexico and Japan, and with those other countries, the talks are still on. Tariffs, how do they impact us, right? So first is, so if you see this, investments, consumption, consumer price, trade balance, and GDP. From a trade balance perspective, what is America trying to say? Too much of my stuff is coming from other countries, so you correct the trade balance, which seems like a good thing. If you look at consumer prices, very negative, because most of the tariff will get passed on to the consumers. But if you ask me, the worst hit actually is investments. Most of you are businessmen or running businesses. If you are planning a business and tomorrow there's a 20% duty on shrimp, before you put your next farm out, you're going to think twice, right? And investments then don't happen very fast. So this is a bit of a tricky problem. We are hoping, the tariff story blows over. This is a little history. I just want to show you at the bottom left. We all know about the Great Depression that happened in the US in 1929. After the depression happened, there were two gentlemen. One was Smoot and the second was Hawley. They were, US representatives. They came out with a huge tariff plan because they thought that would support the US. So 20,000 goods they doubled the import duties. And what happened was a complete shock to the world. And in fact, it extended the Great Depression. It's considered one of the biggest, I would say, economic disasters that actually happened. Following that, better sense prevailed in the world. People said, let's do globalization. You had the GATT, you had the World Trade Organization being formed. So I'm just trying to tell you, we, in some sense, what US and Trump are doing now, they have resurrected that same monster. And you've seen how it's played out in the past. So what does this all mean? Is this all bad? Globalization was so good. I make the buttons, someone makes the shirt, someone makes the collar, and we all come together. I think that era is over. So globalization is not coming back for a while. But if you look at trade, it's still picking up. So all of you have to understand this. And you've seen India play its policies also exactly like that. What we are seeing is, it's not it's not like a multiverse, it's more like bilateral agreements. That is the new trend. So we are doing what works for us. We will import gas from Russia, we will talk to the Saudis, we will still deal with US. Some of our imports we are dependent on China, so we will still do as a country what we need to do. And we are seeing this with trade agreements as well. In fact, the depth of the trade agreements, the regional trade agreements, and this again will impact all your businesses at some point, you have to understand governments are going deeper and deeper into each of these agreements. So, as MSME, when you have a voice, many times access can be, sometimes the platform which you can come in, but do make your presence felt because these policies will shape your business. This is my worry. This is the next, what happened last time I showed you a slide with Smoot and Hawley where 20,000 goods had imports which were doubled. What did the world do? What did all the other countries do? They just went and devalued their currency to offset the import duties which they had to pay. There was a massive blowout. Every country left the gold standard, which was the basic standard those days, left. So I'm not saying something like that will happen, but the next phase, once the policies come into place, every country, including China, is likely to devalue its currency, which means rupee could not help but devalue itself. So what happens if rupee suddenly goes to 95 rupees, right? Have you thought of your business then? And the funny part is, everyone who did that, those are the countries that actually devalued and kind of weaponized the currency against tariffs, actually benefited. So the world knows that once the tariff war is over, next step is currency war. Thankfully, we have a very proactive government, I must say. Till 2000, I would say even 20, we never had so many regional trade agreements. Now you can see those burgundy dots. That are the number of regional trade agreements that India is busy out there signing. And we're doing it with the bigger countries. You can see the top corridor, Italy, France, UK, Germany, Korea. So we're busy signing separate bilateral agreements with all big countries. You can see that graph on the left. Before this, about 130 billion out of our 430 billion of exports was through regional trade agreements or bilateral agreements. $200 billion of regional trade agreements are along the way. So in the next 6 months, 1 year, those will get signed up. So effectively 200 plus 130, 330 out of 430 billion dollars of trade exports is going to happen via regional trade agreements. So most of you are in the manufacturing space and you must be a little proud, but that middle slide is India's share of manufacturing or merchandising trade. You can see it's been a very good rise, but I think it's also plateaued a bit, and hopefully with all the things that are happening in India, and once this tariff thing settles a bit, we'll see a bit of a jump. So if you look at services, it has also moved from 2%. Services obviously was leading, right? It was services first for India, which has done well. Services moved from 2% to 4%, the black graph. But you have to take a leaf out of what the service industry has done. The value-added services which pay more, say GCCs, other businesses, that share has gone from 4% to 8%. And we are hoping that manufacturing does the same. So we are hoping that you do more value-added manufacturing than basic manufacturing. The government is there to help you. Look at our PLI scheme. There's 14 PLI schemes going on. That's about 2 lakh crores that the government is kind of giving as subsidy. The largest is, electronics. You can see the massive amount. It's almost 20-30% of it. And again, I'm only giving you some slides which we Googled and picked up, and our research team has put together for you. Just to show you how proactive India is, the latest is the war on semiconductors, for example. India has committed 10 billion, EU 47, US about 50, China is of course at about 100 billion. But from a percentage to GDP, US and EU have committed 0.3% of their GDP to semiconductors. India has also matched it. So we're very active in regional trade agreements, we're very active on all of these, and these are paying off. So if you look at, so India's trying to again, be Atmanirbhar or self-reliant. So look at our imports, the green line, it's kind of stabilized. We were over-dependent on electronic imports. Large part of electronic imports are mobiles. So for the first time, India has actually become a net exporter of mobiles, mostly because of the Apple order, but one single order has basically covered all the mobile imports that we have. And all of this is thanks to policies. So that was on the policy part. I'll very quickly go to some highlights on India. So this graph on the left, or the top left, people keep saying India versus China. I just want to show you that we projected India GDP with a certain inflation rate, with a certain GDP rate up to 2050, right? We won't overtake China, so no jingoism there, but we will definitely narrow the gap, and you can just see how these two economies are powering ahead. So ideally, if we keep our foot on the accelerator, 6 to 7 to 8% growth with inflation added to it, I think this is fairly doable. The potential is the low per capita, and I think it's a little sad because in India the haves and have-nots difference is quite wide. The per capita for India is $2,800. For China it's $13,000, right? So that shows you that if we can increase that, we will uplift a huge part of India. US is out of the charts, they are at about 89,000. There are some graphs which show you that other things for GDP which are important, labor and capital. Just one very quick thing on the, people say the demographics are great for us. Just want to show you, look at the demographics. We are in that nice bulge today. So 15 to 19 to 30 to 34. But demographic dividend will not last forever. It's already India's below the total fertility rate, so this will change very fast. We've got about 30 years to maximize it, but thankfully, we've got some tailwinds. The female labor force in the industry has gone from 23 to 41%. The amount of time that women are now, putting into industry is also high. So these are some tailwinds that we have. Very quickly on this slide, what we are basically trying to say here is that capex is important. But a large part of the capex that we have today is building machine, and less of plant and machinery. We need more of that capex, not just land and plants. We're seeing the private sector pick up a bit. The government has done a lot, but the central government is a bit overspent now. So we will see large push coming from the states. So you can see Andhra Pradesh up there. This was 2023-24, big jump, and all of them massive jump, and then year on year, despite the big base, the states are still spending. This is a bit of color on where the states are spending their money. And India is doing a lot. You've seen the Bharatmala project. For example, the road between Vizag and Raipur, right? That's 450 kilometers. That will cut down your travel by half. So like that, the Sagarmala project, the Udan project, 90 airports, 4 crore people will fly. right? The Mumbai-Delhi corridor, that's $200 billion. All of this translates into projects which will trail down into MSME. And this is why we are very confident that thankfully this big government push is there on infra and it will trickle down to MSME. It's also being very smart. The government's done a lot of digital infra projects. Of course, Aadhaar and all of that we know, but there's OCN for credit, there's ONDC coming up, there's FASTag now, smart metering. So all of this is again, now why is this possible? Because the government very smartly built infra on cheap digital. So 1 GB in the US costs $6. In India, 1 GB costs 20 cents, 15-20 rupees. So cheapest in the world. But thankfully, India is not using cheap internet for advertisements. We're using it to build this digital infra tech. So just showing you, and you know, by the way, all of this so India has gone from consuming 2% of the world data to 20%. All of this, 98% of India's internet penetration, by the way, has only happened on the smartphone. Only 2% is fixed broadband. Now imagine the next wave when internet broadband comes into homes, how much more India can prosper. And that just shows you the cost of, you know, internet brings down the transaction costs a lot. Quickly going on to macroeconomics. The world is not at a bad place. You can see this is the two biggest economies, Europe and US. The growth had come off and it's plateaued and gone up a bit. Why is this happening? Huge fiscal spending by US, by Europe, by everyone. What is the result of all of this? Now, if you print a lot of money, then effectively that currency has to weaken. So that is what is happening with the dollar. You can see that burgundy drop go down. So the dollar index, which is at 114, is now below 100. So it's not a great time, but America likes it, Trump likes it, weaker dollar is good for them. Also the second thing is countries used to store their reserves in dollars, but now not everyone wants to store it in dollars, so you're seeing total reserves versus dollar reserves also coming off. Europe and UK both are having some stress. UK hasn't cut rates, Europe had already cut rates quite a bit. So we do expect GBP rates to come down, so little bearish on the pound. EU continues to struggle a bit, so you can see the disparity. These are the current rates of the various, the Fed, the ECB, the BOE, all of that. Japan just had a kind of political rejig a bit, so we're a bit bearish on the yen as well. China impacts all of us. Just want to show you, if you look at, this is how Chinese credit is growing. It looks like it's going up, but it's actually going up only because of the purple line, which means the only credit that's happening is governments. Normal credit is not happening. And their slowdown is not happening because they don't have money to spend, that, you know, their main problem is that taxes are coming, their revenues from taxes are coming down. So imagine they don't have money, the fiscal deficit is blowing up, you can't tax anymore because your inflation is zero, growth is very, very low, so they don't have much to do. They are in a bit of a tight spot. This is dollar rupee. A lot of you are exporters mostly. So we've had a change, of a new RBI governor. Sanjay Malhotra has come in. Just wanted to show you that if you look at 22-23, and you can see the band, the green graphs and the red ones, they tend to narrow towards 23-24. So when Mr. Shaktikanta Das was there, dollar rupee was trading in a much more narrower band. The current new governor has just widened the band a bit, so you're seeing some volatility. Last 1 week, rupee has gone from 85.50 to almost 86.40 today. So that was because of this tariff news. So expect some more wider, little more volatility. This is a business confidence slide. If you see the gray line, it overshoots the burgundy slide. So the burgundy is the actual credit in the market. The survey results were the gray one. So RBI saw this. You can see this was going down. And RBI was a bit concerned with what was happening globally with all the slowdown that you could see. You've all heard about, the NPAs slowly, going up. So what they did is they gave what I would call a bazooka in terms of, you all saw the 50 basis rate cut. We've not seen this in a long time. They cut CRR by almost 100 basis. All of this is releasing 5 lakh crores in the market. So as a central bank, what have they done for us, for you? They have kept liquidity with the banks, so there is enough liquidity. They have slashed rates. So now they're just hoping that you come and borrow, because obviously there is, as a central bank, they feel that inflation is kind of bottomed out, which is my next slide here, so basically RBI feels that inflation has kind of bottomed out and inflation will start climbing up, which basically means it's a growth impetus, because prices will go up, which means you will make more money. So effectively it's a good deflection point. Our own economist house view is H2 will be much better for India than H1. This is the same growth forecast, 6.5% is what we are forecasting. So this is the world indication for India, 6.5 and 6.3 for next year. This is the second last slide. Just wanted to show you, after all of this story, you can see India GDP, which is a lower rate of 6.4, and you can see almost every country that's meaningful out here. There's only 3 countries which have rates above 3%. So 6.5 is phenomenal. This is where you stand, or we all stand. So just to summarize, tariffs and industrial policy, that's the new cornerstone. It's a mega trend, it's not going anywhere. It's targeted at China. India can benefit from it. It's bilateral agreements now over globalization. From a Viksit Bharat, India is striving to grow rich before we grow old, right? And the demographic dividend won't last forever. So you've got 10, 20, 30 years to catch up. If you don't, we lose it. Good impetus from the government. Please take advantage of it. And like I said, MSME can really thrive in this environment. Macroeconomics, domestic challenges continue in US with the tariff war, EU and China. Cyclical recovery for India in H2. So please be a little more bullish. And long-term prospects of India continue to be strong. So that's it from me. I'll be around in the evening if you want to catch up. Thank you.
Thank you, Brijesh, for that extremely insightful presentation. Moving on, MSME have gradually evolved into becoming the backbone of Indian economy, contributing not only to the GDP, but also providing large-scale employment and regional development. With that, we bring to you a few of our very own clients who will share their insights and thoughts on MSME powering the $10 trillion economy. We have with us Mr. Prashant T.S., President and Head Mid-Corporates Group, Axis Bank, moderating this highly engaging panel discussion with our guest panelists, Mr. Satyanarayana Raju, Mr. Ravi Kumar, and Mr. Aman Garg. Our first panelist is Mr. Satyanarayana Raju, Chairman and Managing Director of SRK Infra Projects Private Limited. SRK Infra stands strong under the leadership of the Chairman, Mr. Satyanarayana Raju, who built the company from its core driven by dharma, trust and commitment, ensuring success for both the organization and everyone associated with it. Welcoming sir onto the stage. Our second panelist is Mr. Ravi Kumar, Managing Director of Vaishakhi Biomarine Private Limited and Vaishakhi Bioresources Private Limited. Vaishakhi Group is one of the leading shrimp hatchery operators in India and operates one of the largest farms in the country. Mr. Ravi Kumar has been familiar with hatchery operations in India through his numerous written papers and publications. Mr. Ravi shares his experiences and knowledge concerning the shrimp industry. He is the president of All India Shrimp Hatchery Association as well. Welcoming Mr. Ravi Kumar onto the stage. Our third panelist is Mr. Aman Garg, Group Managing Director of Everest Plywood. Mr. Garg has been a driving force in establishing Everest Ply as a trademark for quality plywood. An establishment with 40+ years of legacy, Mr. Garg is committed to taking company to newer heights. Welcoming Mr. Aman Garg onto the stage. Over to you, Prashant.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for joining the panel. It's going to be a format of a Q&A. I want to ask our panelists a few questions. We're keeping the questions very basic, just getting to know their journey and them sharing their experiences. So, sir, let me start with you, Satyanarayan sir. What inspired you to start the company? And over the years, the company's worked on quite a few big projects. What's been your growth and what's been the vision?
I'm Satyanarayana Raju. SRK Infra Managing Director. We are in contracts. Presently, we are builders majorly at Bangalore. Actually, at the time we qualified our graduation, Udyogam Purusha Lakshanam. In Telugu, getting a job itself is the main aim of any graduate those days. Okay, I have done my ICW at Chennai, and just it is completed. I am searching for a job. It happened to me to come, my brother-in-law is here in Visakhapatnam. I came here. He invited me, if you are interested in business, we can start, steel plant is coming up, we can start works. And like that, as he is sleeping partner, myself, another guy is working partners, we started SRK Construction, Sri Ramakrishna Constructions. I am a devotee for Ramakrishna Mission from my student days. That I requested, those two are elders to me, even then I told, this is a pious name, we can name it.
Yeah.
They agreed for it. We started constructing, out of 20-30 magnanimous buildings, I made 8 buildings in steel plant, which I can proudly say.
Very good.
Like that, my journey in business has started.
Yes.
When I came and started my company here, in 4th month I got a job, assistant manager. So
you attempted to take up the job?
Yes, yes. My friend and we both went. He is my classmate only.
Yeah.
I told I will go to Vizag and let you know either I will join or not. In the 4 months, I was able to understand what is business.
Yeah.
And if you work hard. And one of our ex-MLA used to always inspire us.
Yeah.
Mr. Narayana, you have money and you are hard-working people, don't do job karke. He always used to motivating me when I went for a job to him. Okay, he requested me, if you tell now, that job will be given to me, you can, if you go and tell means again they call an interview, somebody will come, he requested me. Somehow I have taken a decision, I will not join, and I wrote my letter and given. I continued my business in construction.
And it's worked very well for you.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. That is the, I mean, those days only job is the main thing.
Yeah.
In 76 I am qualified as a graduate, and by 79 I qualified ICWA. That's why those days it is job is more
it's been
secured.
a great journey, sir.
Yes, we are from agriculture family.
Yeah.
That is also one of the reasons. But what we found in our business, any business, we should be disciplined.
Yeah.
We have to honor our commitment. We should do a quality job and good service.
Yeah.
And we have to take the total responsibility. Either we may have 100 employees, but everybody's employee is whoever does mistake is, we have to take it to our shoulders. Then, and the other thing in business is our repayment.
Yeah.
If you do well, your repayment, you will get the material in a cheaper way.
Yeah.
Labor also cheap way. For labor always, we have to give them front and payment immediately.
Yeah.
That works out minimum 15-20%, less also they are ready to work with us. If you give more rate and doesn't pay, or you doesn't give front to work, they cannot be benefited.
True.
These are the what we have to
Basics of getting the business
basics of
right.
this.
Yeah. So you know, you said from picking up a job, you became an entrepreneur. So let me tell you, today it's the totally opposite of it. I think most of them want to get into business and nobody wants to get into a job. So that's the, you know, role reversal that we have seen. So,
that is true,
yeah.
because earlier capital is the investment. Now knowledge became the investment
absolutely.
for business.
Very right, very right.
That's why
Yeah,
now knowledge is money,
yeah.
not the capital is
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
When it transformed like that, because the already all are getting education now, good education,
True.
comparing to those 50 years back. And they are very knowledgeable than us
Yeah.
due to Google or IT.
No, I think youngsters today are more
Earlier-
ambitious also.
Yes, earlier by working, by practicing only, you have to gain knowledge.
Yeah,
Now you are getting knowledge on digital
I agree. I think
easily.
Brijesh also just covered that.
Yes.
I'll come back to you, sir. I think moving to Ravi, sir, you know, just wanted you to share a little bit about your personal journey. How did Vaisakhi Biomarine and Bioresources come into being, and just if you could quickly take us through that.
Yeah. Actually, if you look at our, journey, our company's journey,
Yeah.
it was almost like going through the continuum of micro to large.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we started small.
Yeah.
I mean, we started a consultancy company,
Yeah.
basically. I mean, we were manning shrimp
Yeah.
hatcheries to produce seed. And we understood, the operations and even the business
Yeah.
while doing the consultancy. And there is a lot of fat around the hatchery infrastructure and all that.
Yeah.
We thought we would construct a very lean hatchery, functional
Sure,
hatchery,
sure.
and kind of produce good quality seed, because
Yeah.
seed plays a big role in shrimp farming.
Yeah.
I mean, if the farmer stocks a good quality seed,
Yes.
he's going to get a good crop.
Yeah.
You know? So that being the focus,
Yeah.
we started our own hatchery, a small hatchery, functional,
Yeah.
no frills, no fat.
Yeah.
And we started producing good quality seed.
Very good.
That has given results to the
Yeah,
farmers.
yeah.
So over the years, we thought, we have good demand for our seed.
Yeah, yeah.
We thought we would leverage the
yeah.
reputation what we have
Yes.
kind of created. And we have come up with a second hatchery in Chennai.
Very good.
To start with, we were doing a hatchery in Vizag.
Yeah.
Then we have come up with a hatchery in Chennai.
Sure.
Then this new species of Vaname, what is being cultured
Yeah,
today,
yeah, yeah.
the dominant species.
Yes.
It got introduced in 2009.
Yeah.
We were the first hatchery in the country to officially
Wow.
produce Vaname seed.
Wow. No.
Then we started expanding.
Yeah, yeah.
And when Vaname got introduced, a lot of companies were thinking of building the hatcheries.
Yes.
Whereas what we thought is we don't know how long this boom is going to stay.
Yeah.
Better to acquire companies.
Yeah.
We acquired few companies during that time.
I think boom stayed on.
Yes, and we could produce volumes when the boom was there. you
Sure.
know.
Sure.
Then we got into shrimp farming,
Yeah.
and now we got into exports.
Very good.
We're coming up with a greenfield processing
Sure.
plant near to Vizag. We want to be a vertically integrated company. So we started our journey from a small hatchery.
Yeah.
Now we are vertically integrated.
Very
Now
good.
we are going to become a large enterprise.
Very good.
We are going to move from medium enterprise
Yeah,
to a
yeah,
large enterprise.
yeah.
That's our journey.
Very good. Very happy to be associated with you also, sir.
Same here.
Yeah.
I keep joking with your guys.
Yeah.
Axis Bank is like on which axis you are, x-axis or y-axis.
Yeah.
And they always say, what is this question he's asking? I say, you should answer, you are in a straight line that is passing through the origin. You
Yeah.
know? It would never dip down. If you take the line that is passing through the origin,
Yes.
it never dips down. And I got to see your graph.
Yeah.
It kept growing, Axis Bank. It's not coming down. So it's almost like going to the straight line going to the origin.
Sure,
And we also want to be on that line, 45 degrees line.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Aman, sir, coming to you. Being a second generation entrepreneur, I think the challenges are different. Why I'm asking you this is in most MSMEs, we also see that when the new generation takes over, there are challenges and there are opportunities also. While you also drive a brand in your business, what changes did you see and what were the challenges?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to the panel. Sir, ours is a big joint family, and we are in this trade from last 40 years. And we are from the second generation of the business now. We run Everest Supply. So what exactly happens is when the transition happens from generation 1 to the generation 2, there is a lot of thought process, the think tank, the differences in the area. So the basic challenge to retain the brand of Everest Ply is like, we face the cost of maintaining the brand when we compare to the MSME is very, very high. The branding cost, the retaining of the brand cost, the retaining the manpower, and getting the right quality manpower is the biggest challenges that we have as a MSME group, because the affordability is quite low and the aim and ambitions are quite high. So that's the balance that creates a lot of this thing for us.
Thank you, Aman sir. So Satyanarayan sir, coming back to you, you've seen India evolve over the last 30 years, so much of opportunity. We've come quite far as a country. And where do you think we are heading, and what do you think are the opportunities for MSMEs in your area?
MSMEs are playing a great role in Indian economy. See, you bank also. MSME is mainly headed by the owners, not by corporate or these things.
Professional.
Yes. Owner involvement will be there.
Yes.
Particularly for the MSMEs now, infrastructure and land is becoming the major cost.
Yeah.
If those can be facilitated by government and your loan facility extends, one has to practice the government policies and latest technologies. Like that, for India, MSME is the best suitable, because to you also, you cannot collect your loan from a big corporate. You can collect from us easily because we feel it. Corporate, what happens?
That's why we intend to grow this business faster than the rest.
They assign their dignitaries, vice president, president, something, because he didn't have that human touch. I have taken material or money from you. I have to pay that, because that's why if government give this land and infrastructure, you give loan, technology anyhow is everybody has to evolve with the technology. MSMEs will definitely, as you told, China is at 60%, we are in 30%. We had a lot of scope to reach that stage.
True, sir. Thank you. And this is one business we also as a bank intend to grow faster than the rest. So we'll continue to support this industry as far as we can do from the bank. Coming to you, Ravi sir, in terms of aquaculture industry, we have seen a lot of change happening in the last decade. How did you adapt to these changes, and how did you grow internationally? You started exports and all of that. So, what is the role of technology also, if you can cover in this, that'll be great.
Yeah, India is the second largest shrimp farming country in the world. India was, for 4 years or so, we are at the top of the table. We're the #1 producing country, and we were #1 exporting country. And we lost our leadership to Ecuador. And the reasons are, we have production issues, that's one thing.
Okay.
And our cost of production is slightly higher than Ecuador, and we have disease threats and all that, where Ecuador is able to overcome the disease threats with the way they're doing farming. Though Ecuador and India do the shrimp farming, the way we do is quite different, chalk and cheese. So the way India is doing, right now, it doesn't look to be all that efficient as Ecuador. But still we're doing good. We're doing better than other Southeast Asian countries and all that. And if you look at this year also, up till May, our YTD exports, if you see, we have done 4% higher than last year. So we're doing good as of now. But the markets are stagnant. As the world economy is stagnant, the markets are also stagnant. If you look at the protein consumption, it goes with the growth of economy, And this is a premier protein, so expensive. So as the economies of the developed countries is not doing good, the consumption is not increasing. The aggregate demand is not good, so is the demand of shrimp also. So we need to work on the domestic market to get the further growth.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
otherwise it could be difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
because, I mean, as your colleague was saying,
Yeah.
I mean, we have what it takes to be a good
Yeah.
consumer. I mean,
Yeah.
we're a 4 trillion economy,
Yeah.
we're growing,
Yeah.
growing at 6.5%, and we have demographic dividend.
Yeah.
So we can consume. So
Yes.
we need to start working on our market.
True.
I mean, we tend to think about Atmanirbhar Bharat for imports,
Yeah.
but sometimes, you know, you need to look at our
Yeah.
exports
Yes,
also. If we
yes.
can consume within the country,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we can
Great
be self,
point.
we can be self-reliant.
Yeah, great point. Thank you. Aman sir, coming to you. You know, in terms of MSMEs, honestly, what I've seen is they are not very focused on ESG. And ESG as a topic is picking up quite a bit. And you know, the point that he made on exports, today most exporters ask you for ESG compliances. So if you can just throw some light on that as to what MSME should think about ESG, that'll be great.
Sir, to be very honest, I mean, most of the MSME does not even know what ESG stands for.
Yeah, true.
So first they need to understand that,
Yes, yes.
and then the compliances and other things come into the picture. Because, like, even I understand that it's something to do with the environment, social, and the government clauses.
Yeah.
But the culture in the country here is like the MSMEs, they are always in the struggling phase of their life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for them to cater about the environment, the social cause,
Yeah.
I think it's all left to the large companies of the country.
No, but I think what we have seen is most exporters have started asking for it, and today, you know, it kind of helps the MSME build it earlier, and you know, once you become a large corporation, it becomes difficult to start it then. So if MSMEs can kind of start it off when they're young, you know, it helps them get everything in place earlier.
It's always better to start young.
Yeah,
It's always
yeah.
better. But
Yeah.
like as I told you earlier, like for the MSMEs right now,
Yeah.
the awareness is lacking.
Yes.
So for that we need to have that awareness. Then
Yeah.
it comes to the implementation thing.
Yeah. Sir, from a generational change, I think, you know, in terms of leadership, what changes have you noticed when the new generation has come into the business? I think we also see it as bankers. When new generations come in, thought processes are different, and you know, the way they approach business is very different. So what is your advice for, you know, MSMEs when the new generation comes in?
Sir, new generations are very intelligent, and only our actions and our attitude can teach them.
Yeah.
Not our words or our knowledge,
Yeah.
because they are more knowledgeable than us.
So do you have difference of opinions at work when the new generation has a viewpoint and you have a viewpoint?
Yes, yes. See, if you take our grandfathers worked a lot,
Yeah.
fathers worked a lot, we worked a lot,
Yeah.
but they are smart in working. They, they will not. They may work hard as well as or not,
Yeah.
but they have concept they are changing. They will employ, because anything now, manpower is the main
Yeah.
source.
Yeah.
They can only, your associates, your employees only can make your
Yeah.
organization big.
Yeah.
They deploy good employees and getting done.
Yeah.
Earlier, we used to get it done with a low number of employees.
Yeah.
We always think why he requires anything. But now the generation, if you see, human resources are the potential for business.
Yeah.
That concept they are taking up, they are
Yeah.
smartly working,
Yeah.
and they work better also.
True.
But what we should inculcate them is the ethics of the business.
True.
Our they
Principles,
practically see us,
Yeah.
how we are doing, and that only will teach them.
Yeah.
Your attitude and action only teach them.
True.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Ravi sir, coming back to you, you know, environmental changes have been a major challenge in the aqua industry. And how do you think that kind of plays on your business it affects operations, and what steps have you taken to stay competitive both locally and internationally?
I think it's a very good question. Environment has a huge impact on any livestock, and more so on shrimp aquaculture.
Sure.
Because of global warming, the temperatures are going up. As the environment is changing, we call it abiotic changes. These abiotic changes are bringing biotic changes also. Means if you look at summer, the Vibrio loads in the water are increasing because of the higher temperature. Oceanic temperatures have gone up by 1.5 degree or so.
Wow.
Ambient temperatures also have gone up by 1 degree. All this is contributing to new diseases, and which is bringing down the efficiencies.
Okay.
So we need to work on our broodstock, what we use for breeding. We need to come up with broodstock that is tolerant for higher temperatures and all that. And we need to come up with the right species, to counter these environment changes. If you look at the weather, it has changed a lot. You have long dry spells, and when you have rains, it rains cats and dogs. It's kind of flash flood.
Yes.
It affects shrimp farming, not only in India, world over. So definitely the industry is facing problem, and we need to come up with climate resilient operational operations and climate resilient species and all that. So it's a work in progress. The industry is conscious of that. So what we do as a company is we look at the seasons accordingly. We bring the right genetic lines to suit that particular season of the year. That's what we're trying to do. If you ask me what we are trying to do, but it's a work in progress. We need to come up with climate resilient solutions.
Sure. Thank you. Aman sir, innovation and distribution are key drivers of your industry.
Yes, sir.
What are the kind of challenges that you face and you want to share with them your learning, and what are your best practices?
So innovation is like, changing mobiles every day. We cannot stand behind, and we need to keep on adding new innovations that's happening around the world, and we need to adapt that in our industry, in day-to-day culture, like, the softwares that is happening now, AI-enabled things that is happening, and we need to keep adding new machines to increase the efficiency, the plant and everything. So that's one of the CapEx is one of the important things that we need to, have a budget for everyday innovations that are happening. That's very, very important for us. Once we step behind, then we will be, far away, and then it's very difficult to catch up for them. And as far as the distribution is concerned, one of the biggest bottleneck that the industry is facing for us, like from our perspective, is the logistics and the transportations. Like we are in the eastern zone of the India, and if you want to cater the pan-India, then it becomes very difficult to spread the market size and spread your product too. So that's one of the biggest challenges. And to overcome this, what we are looking at is like you have warehouses in the different part of the countries, like in the western zone or the eastern zone, or if you permit, you can have your different setups in the different part of the country. Like you have a setup in the northeastern part of the country, or you can have something in the Gujarat or western to cater those markets. That's one of the things that you spread your wings. When the logistics become a problem for us.
Sure. Thank you. Coming to the last couple of questions, Ravi sir, coming back to you, we spoke about US tariffs. I think Brijesh made a point on that. What's your take on that? And you also mentioned about, Ecuador kind of being a strong competitor, moving to the first place ahead of us. So what's your how is it impacting our business today? If you can just touch upon that.
Yeah.
And are you seeing any shift in business? Clients moving away from India to Ecuador?
Yeah. Very good question, I would say again.
Yeah.
We all avoid Trump's tariff to India. The reciprocal tariff, which is about 26%. Of course, they've given a breather for 3 months, and it's being continued for 1 more month. If they impose 26%, definitely it's going to have a huge impact on India. Because if you look at Ecuador, they imposed about 10%, the baseline tariff for them. Apart from that, we have anti-dumping duty and countervailing duty. There also they have an advantage of 5%.
Okay.
But the good news is that if you look at US market, 50% of the market is peeled market. Means headless, peeled peel tile on and peel
Yeah,
tile off.
yeah, okay.
Those are the products they eat. I mean, it's convenience, you know,
Yes.
beheaded and
Yeah.
peeled. 50% of the market is that in US.
Okay.
And out of that, India's share is about 50%.
Okay.
Whereas Ecuador's share is only about 4%.
Okay.
But if the tariff stays at 26%, if it doesn't come down, they have an advantage of 16%.
Yeah.
Already they have a 5% advantage on anti-dumping and countervailing.
yeah.
So it becomes 20%.
Yeah.
I mean, if that much of difference is there, they will also develop infrastructure to
Yes.
produce, peeled and other value-added
Yeah,
products.
yeah, yeah.
So in the short run, there will not be any issue, but in the long run, definitely there's going to be an issue.
Sure.
We need to look for newer markets.
Sure.
Probably it's time for us, we need to work on the domestic market, as I told you earlier.
Yeah,
I mean, that's going to be the key.
Sure.
Because we have what it takes to consume shrimps within the country.
Yeah.
We have huge population,
Yeah.
there is so much of disposable income. But the problem is, we need to let the public at large know about the goodness about the shrimp,
Yeah.
the health benefits,
Sure.
and we need to make it available. It's
Yeah.
not available also, because the way we are doing business is export. So the systems are deeply entrenched for exports only.
Yeah,
The mindset is also only for exporting.
Yeah.
That has to change.
Yeah.
Probably we would learn this out of this experience and change the way we approach the industry.
Yeah, yeah. Good. I think great point. I think it's about developing the local markets more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Aman sir, coming back to you, often we have seen MSMEs kind of hesitant to adopt technology and maybe due to cost and complexity, whatever they think. But I believe technology comes in with a lot of advantages for MSMEs.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what is your advice, to MSMEs on technology?
We must adopt technology, and we must be very, very fast on that, sir. We cannot just wait and watch for the new technologies, and then we cannot be a backbenchers for technology adoptions.
Yeah,
So we have to be very, very active on that.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
Any last words, for the...
Sir, you had asked, sir, that what is the questions that you have, like on the generation gap.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's one of the very important subject, and I think each and everybody in this panel and the audience, they have the second generations coming up in
Yes.
the business. So the transition of a business empire from one generation to another generation is I think one of the biggest challenges that the country is facing.
Yeah.
I don't see much of the houses where the business transition is very, very smooth,
Yeah.
and the succession planning is done very well.
Yeah.
So that's one of the areas where I would advise everyone to look into it, so that things happen very smoothly from one generation to the another generation. That's
Sure.
what my take.
Sure.
Thank you.
Your last words, advice for MSMEs.
Okay. MSMEs are anything, banking and borrower.
Yeah.
See, you will not give your checklist at once. Banker, what the mistake banker does. And
We keep asking.
now funds are available with every bank.
Yeah,
They are searching for a genuine customer.
correct.
If you found his track record and genuinity,
Yeah,
you have to curate a product which suits him.
true.
See, I have this product and it may not suit to the
Agree,
customer.
Agree. Yeah,
These two things bankers has to come up, and
Sure.
we borrowers
sure.
should, by seeing your checklist itself, either I am eligible or not,
Yeah,
you should have the knowledge of it
True.
about the checklist.
true.
I myself, I thought there are 3 banks, SBI, HDFCU,
Yeah,
and 2 NBFCs,
yeah.
Tata Capital and Bajaj. All of them, I give my terms.
Sure.
Whoever
So you write the
compete-
term sheet and the bank sign up.
Yes. Whoever can compete it,
Yeah.
we will give.
Sure, sure.
Now that is the situation of the, for a good, genuine customer.
Absolutely, absolutely. True.
One thing, repayment is reputation. No other
Yeah.
word in
Agree.
finance.
Agree.
That
Agree.
we have to practice it.
Yeah,
In that way, you see better MSMEs, better entrepreneurs,
yeah,
and you encourage them,
yeah.
will definitely, anyhow government, now present government has brought so many policies.
Yeah.
with these things it can be improved like anything.
Sure.
I will tell you one example. Srinivasul Shetty Garu, now chairman of SBI,
Yeah.
here only the meeting has happened. I knows him from PO.
Yeah.
I am 40 years SBI customer. He came to know that I am not having any loan with him.
Yeah.
He called his CGM.
Yeah.
I don't know how he will give. Within 15 days, you give loan to 20 crores loan to SRK without calling MSN Raju and give it. 18th day, that CGM has came with 20 crores sanction with a bouquet to my office.
Yeah.
See, and I mean, the same thing I have extended to Murthy. Murthy could not do that. But SBI people
Yeah.
searched where we can give to loan money, and they made a tool,
Sure.
and they got it done.
Yeah.
That is the situation now.
Yeah.
You have to
No,
adapt.
true,
those-
agree, sir. I think it's
have to
more about banks being
because,
proactive.
Because he is a chairman, he can order.
Yeah.
All you cannot.
Yeah.
But that is the right
Sure.
businessman ke liye you have to
Yeah.
extend your.
Point taken, sir.
Yes.
Ravi, sir, last words for.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at SMEs in India and compare it with China, that's a huge difference.
I agree.
The major issue in India is we don't have the right ecosystem for SMEs. You know, SMEs, if you look at, they're in a survival mode.
Yeah.
If you look at China, they're scaling up, they're thriving businesses, you know. I mean, scale is a big question in India as we don't have right ecosystem, you know. One thing is banking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's about 25 lakh crore credit gap in MSMEs. So banks have to come forward, you know.
Sure.
I mean, though we have lot of credit guarantee schemes,
Yeah.
many of the entrepreneurs are not aware of it.
Yeah.
Some of the schemes what government has come about of late,
Yeah.
I mean, it is not known to many entrepreneurs.
Sure.
You know, so we need to sensitize the
True,
policies.
true.
And probably, you know, if you look at China, they have industrial parks.
Yeah.
Most of the SMEs, they,
Are in and around the
they
parks.
operate there
Yeah.
so that they get the scale.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have the scale, you can't compete in the global market. So you can achieve scale by coming up with those kind of parks and credit, as I told you. That's a major thing.
Sure.
I mean, a bigger guy can easily get a loan, whereas a small guy can't get a loan in India easily. You know, but there are credit guarantee schemes.
Yes,
They have to
yes.
make use of it.
Yes.
So the ecosystem is evolving. I mean, so probably, I mean, in coming years, I mean, it becomes more liberal. And more entrepreneurs are going to come into the play.
Yeah.
If you look at last year, 2024, I mean, out of the 6 crores MSMEs, what we are talking about, 6.3 crores to 7 crores, 2.5 have come into being last year. Last year alone, 2.5 crores.
Yeah.
And if these small entrepreneurs can become to medium level and medium level guys go to the large enterprise scale, that is going to contribute to the GDP. Then we are going to go to 10 trillion.
Yeah.
So banks also have a big role to play.
Absolutely.
You have a transformational role as a matter of
we
fact.
Do.
You know.
We do. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashant, and all our panelists for an extremely engaging session. I would like to call upon Mr. Ashish Shah, Head of Credit, to come onto the stage to hand over the memento to Mr. Satyanarayan Raju. I now invite Mr. B. Santosh to come onto the stage to hand over the memento to Mr. Ravi Kumar. Requesting Mr. Rohan Srivastava to come onto the stage. I'll request Vijay and Brijesh to come onto the stage for a group photograph. Thank you, everyone. With this, we come to the end of today's session. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We hope this was an insightful session for all of you.